Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Around the Table GTA. I know it's not another C Theory episode, but personally, I needed to take a break. I do love talking about C theories, but at the same time, when I get way too into it, it's gonna make me start digging, and I don't want to go down that hole again. Either way, we will be back with more of that content, but I like to go back to the original concepts only because I had a really great weekend. It was the most normal weekend I've had after 2 years of dealing with lockdowns and restrictions, and things kind of felt normal again. And normal for me is a lot different than other people, but to cut it short, this episode is going to be about insight. Insight is something that happens when you do something or you have an experience and it teaches you a lesson. And recently, there's been a lot of insight that I've been experiencing. This weekend, I actually went to see Batman. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but if you're very worried about spoilers, because I might spoil it a little bit, I'd say this is the time for you to end this episode. Come back when you watch Batman. I'm going to talk about some things about it, not necessarily what happens in the movie, but key things that might ruin the movie. It's still not really spoilerish, but just in case you are worried that I might spoil it or I might get excited and spoil it, now is the last chance to jump out of the episode. But anyways, I was watching Batman and it was pretty insightful because it's the first Batman where he's younger and it's when he's starting off as Batman, so the dynamic is different. He isn't a grown Batman. He hasn't dealt with everything like he usually does, and it's pretty cool because one part of the movie he gets insight where he's talking about basically how his decision kind of changed someone, but in a negative way, right? When we're trying to do something good, sometimes when we're trying or when we're doing something, we think it's for the greater good, but what happens is that it actually can negatively impact people, and once it negatively impacts people, it could be kind of traumatic. And I correlated that kind of with work. I've been doing some basic chaos work at work, basically being the bad boss or being the bad guy, and not bad as in me doing a horrible job, but me being the overarching boss, the hovering boss, the mean boss, the blunt boss, because a lot of things in my eyes have been way too chaotic. And for me, when there's too much chaos and I'm in charge, I kind of become very controlling until it gets to the point where everything is kind of evened out. And that's how I deal with complete chaos, right? I've lived with chaos. I grew up with chaos. So I really appreciate when things are orderly and when things are just timed well. Even like with my culture, there's a lot of things where things aren't, to phrase it nicely, people are rarely on time, and it's part of the culture. There's a respect twist to it, but it's very inconvenient if you're a person who wants to deal with something at a specific time because you only have X amount of time and you really value your time. So the insight that I got from Batman was that maybe I was being a little bit too harsh at work, and even me being harsh at work isn't that harsh, right? It's probably like the typical dick boss, but not really. I mean well. But I also realized the dynamic where I was kind of destroying a little bit of the relationships that I've had with people, even though they haven't been big since, I haven't really been working with some of these people for that long. But even something small that's destructive can have a long lasting effect. So that insight was, I think it was needed definitely, so that I could switch things up at work. But at the same time, a lot of people did appreciate what I did, and also it set a really good course for a majority of people. So am I upset that I did it? No. Do I apologize for doing it? No. But I also realized the negative effects of what happened. So that's a thing where you have to stop and just check out what you're doing. For whatever reason, I feel like this year is going to have a lot of change, good change and bad change. I think more of a good change, at least for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me, for sure, I think that something great is going to happen. There might be some loss, but I think that loss is only going to push me to do more and be more. Even I've had this momentum since the start of this month to just go and get it, or just focus in, like laser focus certain things, put my deadlines on certain things, and then push, especially when I have energy. Like today, I've been super energetic. My weekend was great, and I've been carrying that energy for the last 3 days. I think it's going to continue because I'm just having a great time. I don't know if it's the weather is getting better, or maybe someone at work spiked my food, but it's something that I want to carry on with, and I'm going to continue while I can continue it, right? So that's another thing from Insight, where I notice that sometimes when I realize something, it energizes me more. And that's something you guys should definitely check out. Find out what brings you a lot of energy and ride that wave out for as long as possible, because that is going to push you towards whatever you're trying to achieve. And knowing yourself and knowing what motivates you, changes you, charges you up, just puts you in a better place, is something that you should definitely learn to focus in on, zoom in on it, and use it to the best advantage for yourself and potentially people around you, because you never know what you can say or what you do and how that affects people, right? Even I could say last week I was talking to someone that I work with, and they said that, oh yeah, I've changed, where this and that happened. I'm not going to spill the details, but they were really proud of me. And it's really nice to hear someone, even if they work under you, which you shouldn't look down on people if they work under you, but someone that you respect to tell you something that's positive and uplifting. That insight alone could be the driving fire to what you can become in the future. I think I've told this story before, but like in grade 3, my grade 3 teacher, who was also my grade 8 teacher, said that like I was a born leader. And I kind of looked at him like, this guy's crazy, right? And years later, I in a management position, a lot of people come to me for advice. People look up to me, and I don't think it's like completely strange, but it's something you definitely don't expect when you're a shy kid who doesn't really talk much, or you're only vocal when you're put on the spot and you have to say something, and you've grown so much. And that's the thing, guys and ladies, whatever you identify yourself as, you are going to change as time goes on. So if you feel horrible about yourself, you think you're ugly, you think you're dumb, you think you're stupid, all of that jazz, your change will come eventually. You have to work on it. And that's the thing, especially with the society that we're in. We need to embrace change, but we also have to tough through our hard times. Not everything is going to be easy. And, difficult times shape a character, right? It actually is good for you to deal with some deep, dark stuff at times. You got to climb out of it, kind of like sea theories. You'll get a deep dive, you'll start thinking about some messed up stuff, and then if you get out of it, you get out of it. If not, you got a tinfoil hat and all of that jazz. But another thing that I got insight from this weekend too, I went to church for the first time this year, right? And it was very insightful. Like, I think the pastor did a really good job for the most part of the message that he was trying to portray, and a lot of the stuff really resonated with me, and I was happy about that. And even with the things that I did. I hung out with a friend, and like I said, it was a pretty normal like interaction, but it feels like it's been so long since something like that has happened. So it was definitely great. Yeah, I think great is the least that I could say, but it was definitely an experience that made me want to do more and go outside more and plan more. I'm doing something this weekend with friends. I'm doing something at the end of this month with friends. I'm doing something at the end of next month with friends. I just keep planning to do more and more, and that's what you have to do, especially when you're in a great mood. You want to continue to move forward with that great mood and just express your true self, whatever that is. All right. So do what you can with the insight that you gain. There's everything has a learning lessons toward it, right? If we don't face our challenges, if we shy away from our challenges, if we just stay in one place, sometimes we won't realize what we can become. Sometimes our potential is wasted and you're put in a box for what, right? You want to be like Pandora's box. Once you're open, you're just out there, you're everywhere. No one knows what's going to happen with you, and that's fine because you're having an amazing time. Do what you can with your time. I don't know, because like I said, I went to church, and a lot of the members at that church, it's my dad's church, were basically old, and like the pastor was talking about all the crazy stuff that's happened in the last year and how the whole congregation hasn't met up like that. And he was even talking about the passing of other people and just the accomplishments of other people that a lot of people didn't expect, but it's because of what's happened, because of people getting sick, people getting old. And there's always new doors opening for you if you look, if you push forward, if you're willing to take that chance so that you could do something else or be something else, right? There's always time. You hear a bunch of stories, but when you're in it, sometimes it feels like it's never going to happen, and it's rough. I think we've all been there. If you haven't been there, you're lucky, but at the same time, you're not lucky, because the later in life that you experience certain things, it's harder to recover, all right? That's why kids are inspirational. I mentioned this before, but guys, do what you can to get more insight in your life. Don't stay online forever. The internet, you know what? I'll save that for I'll save it for a C theory about the internet not being real. It's real, but you know what I mean, guys. There's so much things that are shaped perfectly so that you think that your life isn't as great as it is, or you feel that you're missing out so much because all of these people have this stuff, right? If they have stuff that you want, go out and get it. You know what I'm saying, right? Go listen to some trap music. They're always talking about going and getting it, grabbing it, take the bag and run, do it up, right? And, some of these people are faking it, but at the same time, the music is inspirational to the point where people will go and actually do that stuff because they heard their favorite star said that, or, the star had a story about they used to be broke and then this thing happened, right? Every genre of music has some type of uplifting music like that too. And last thing that happened this weekend, which was really nice too, I got a song stuck in my head, and it's crazy that I keep finding songs from like 4 years ago, and I'm loving it. I'm like, what was I doing 4 years ago that I missed out on all of this music? And then I thought about I guess I would say, like, not necessarily the height of my career at the moment, but the changes in my career that kind of took me, I wouldn't even say down a dark corner, but it kind of suppressed my personality and changed my view on a lot of stuff and made me a little bit more negative. But like I said, there's something about this year, maybe something about this time that's makes me feel like myself again, and I could feel the change coming, and hopefully you guys have some great change coming with you as well. Yeah, maybe I'll drop 2 episodes this week. I'm editing the C Theory guest episode, so hopefully you guys do enjoy that. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. By the way, there's going to be a new intro, maybe some new background music, maybe a new outro for the C Theory episodes specifically. Maybe I'll throw them around. Maybe I'll have just different themes, music for the effect of the episode. So maybe if I'm talking about something sad, it'll be a darker kind of thing, or something upbeat like this, upbeat, or something motivational, and I have like the motivational intro. I don't know. I'm just having fun with it, Have fun with your life while you're living it. You don't know what's gonna happen. Plus, the world is yours to take, right? It's yours to take if you're willing to do something about it, right? Go and do something about it. That's also going to be another episode in the future. Either way, guys, I'm done talking. This is going to be another longer episode, but I'm in a great mood. And when I'm in a great mood, long episodes happen. Either way, guys, take care. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. Have a nice night, whatever you're dealing with. Remember, the like button is free. It doesn't cost you anything. Leave a like. Leave some comments. I had some really good feedback recently. It helped me fix a lot of episodes. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.